Hi, this is Colleen McGee welcoming you to another episode of Fort Riley, the podcast. And for this first episode of August, we're here to talk about a very important topic, and that is Anti-Terrorism Awareness Month.
My name is Jason Fitzpatrick. I don't think I have a rank anymore. I'm a DA civilian, a retired Army First Sergeant. But my title is the Anti-terrorism Officer for the U.S. Army Garrison, Fort Riley.
So talk to me about Anti-Terrorism Month.
It's Headquarters DA has established an Anti-terrorism Awareness Month. It's every August is Anti-terrorism Awareness Month. Terrorism is always going to be there. You know, we in the anti-terrorism field, we have to be good. We have to be 100% perfect. You know, they just have to be lucky one time. So success for me is transparent. We know what success looks like, hopefully, because nothing's happening. So Anti-terrorism Awareness Month is bringing back to the forefront everybody, you know, the public, you know, the DE civilians, our family members. Hey, remember that there are bad people out there. There are people who want to do us harm. And if you know, to coin the phrase, if you see something, say something. Let someone know. You know, local law enforcement, our Fort Riley Police Department, let them know. Call there's an iWatch function on our homepage. Get that information to the people, to the actors who can, you know, make a difference.
In traditional view, it used to be things like an unmarked vehicle in a place that it shouldn't be. These days, we're looking at that stuff still, but we've added the technology piece.
Absolutely. And the counter insider threat, the counterterrorism, cybersecurity, where you look at all these social media platforms that collect our data. We don't know who's exploiting it. Nobody reads the disclaimer on what privacy you're giving up when you log into a social media account. All that information is just being gathered, and those nefarious actors that we're talking about out there, they're going to capitalize on it. And so what we have to do, again, is just, you know, be cognizant of what we're doing, what we're saying, what we're putting out there on social media. And it kind of goes into the OPSEC or operational security, because they're all symbiotic. You know, each one of them helps the other. If we're paying attention to our operational security, we're paying attention to, you know, if we see something, we say something, what we put on social media, it's all that protective blanket that we're all sharing, we're all benefiting from.
It isn't just the employees and the soldiers that need to be aware.
Oh, no, it's everybody. All the way down to, you know, when your kids become aware. I mean, we teach them to look left and right and then left again before they walk across the street. You know, it's ingraining it now, making it, you know, if you see something, you know, tell mom, tell dad, tell grandpa, tell grandma. You know, ingrain it as early as possible, get it into our family members. You know, like you said, it's not just the soldiers and civilians. If terrorism happens, if a terrorist act occurs here, it's not just going to affect service members and DA civilians. It's going to affect family members. It's going to affect the public. We all have a part of this. There's a piece that everybody has inherent responsibility. You know, I've not been in your neighborhood. So when you see that, you know, like you said earlier, it used to be just that car that's out of place. Now it could be the car that drives through, or the new person in the neighborhood. Everybody's, you know, oh, go say hello, introduce yourself. So you see what right looks like. You get to meet them, and then you can establish who you are in the neighborhood, as well as get to know them. So, you know, they'll more than likely introduce you to their spouse, and, you know, you'll see what kind of car they drive. I know this sounds really conspiratorial, but it's getting to know your colleagues. You know, we spend, you know, most of our waking hours with our colleagues instead of with our family members. So when we go home, we have to get to know our surroundings, you know, not just the walk from the garage to the front door and then go inside and turn on Netflix and chill. Get to know your neighborhood, walk around, you know, meet the new folks, communicate, laugh, and joke with your colleagues, and be part of the community. Establish in your mind what right looks like. So if you see something that's different, you say something to somebody. Just don't keep that to yourself.
I kind of liken that to back in the old World War II movies, we had air raid wardens. Then it was just one person appointed for the neighborhood.
Mhm.
But now we all kind of have to be our anti-terrorism air
Absolutely.
warden.
Absolutely. It goes back down. I mean, we all have a piece of this. It takes a community to raise a child. And takes a community to make sure the children are safe. The terrorists know where we are at. I mean, it's not hard to figure out where Fort Riley is. There are maps out there. So it's not hard for the terrorists to know where we're at. We have to, as a community, draw the curtains, make sure that we're not giving away our information, make sure that, everybody's taking care of each other. Again, it's part of the community. We're all in this together.
So again, the places they can call or report something that is even a little bit suspicious.
Yeah. Our local law enforcement, Fort Riley has a great police department. So call the MP desk. It's 785-239-6767 or MPMP. You can call Fort Riley PD. You can call Junction City or Geary County Police Department if you're local there. The Fort Riley homepage has an iWatch. You can contact the Fort Riley Protection Office. You can contact my desk, 785-239-6303. Going back to 9/11, there are people who were learning how to fly airplanes, but they never worried about how to land them. The people who were teaching them how to fly thought it was odd that they didn't care how to land the airplanes. It could be something as small as that little tidbit of information, like, oh, why aren't they not worried about landing them? Obviously, hindsight is 20/20. But in the last 22 years, we've gotten pretty good at identifying those indicators, and again, linking those indicators to nefarious actors. So if you see something, let us know.
Thank you for listening to Fort Riley, the podcast.